Welcome to Behind the Glass Mixing Live Worship. My name is David Glenn, and I've been blessed to mix multiple multi-platinum records from artists like Redimidos, Dr. Toomey, Blanca, Jeremy Rosado, and many more. I'm pumped to bring you this exclusive behind-the-scenes course for free right here on YouTube. In this series, we're diving deep into mixing live worship from the raw tracks to a polished, powerful mix that translates well in churches, streaming platforms, and beyond. All of the videos from the course will be made available here on the channel, and then if you want to get your hands on the Multitracks to follow along, my exact mix template available for most modern DAWs, my custom drum samples, multiple more mix breakdowns like the one you're about to watch, and on and on. I'll post a link in the description where you can get instant access to all of that, as well as some free guides to help steer you in the right direction with your mixing journey. Lastly, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video in this free series. With that, let's dive in and start mixing. All right, moving right along, it's time to take a look at the lead vocalist. For this song, we've got Sapphire. This is Pastor Ryan Scott's beautiful wife, and we're going to help her sound her best. And so the very first thing that I'm going to do with a lead vocal is I'm going to duplicate it. For example's sake, I've got the actual Melodyne session open here. I just duplicated the track, but typically we'll come in here and duplicate the playlist. You can see there I already have done that. And that duplicate is going to be there for us if we need to go back and revert to the original. A few of these processes that we're going to use here have a tendency to create, to work really well for most, maybe even say 90%, but there's going to be instances where we've corrected, maybe taken out mouth clicks or denoise, and it creates an artifact. And so we may need to go back to the original, and by duplicating it, it's going to allow us to do that and just fix those couple of spots when we hear that there's a problem. But I'm going to try to help you dial in these settings so you don't have to do that often, if ever. So first up, the first step is RX10 from iZotope Mouth Declick. Now, if you're on Pro Tools and you're wondering how did you get Mouth Declick to show up at the top of the audio suites menu like that, usually got to go down and find it. What you do is you hold Command, click on Audio Suite, and then go find the plugin that you want to add to the menu. Say we wanted this API 560 there. Hold Command, find it, click it, bam. Now API 560 is on there. I don't want that there, so I'm going to reverse it. Hold Command, find it, click, and now it's gone. So that's how we've got iZotope RX10 Mouth Declick. And if we pull this up, I'm typically just using the default settings. Let it run for the whole track. So if I triple click here, we've got the whole thing selected, and I will render that. And for this song, we had 30 clicks repaired. And so it's a beautiful tool to be able to take out that kind of, I don't know if you've ever had a glass of water or a drink, and then you get on the microphone for a voiceover or just or singing, obviously, in a studio, whatever, you'll notice that you get kind of the mouth noises. I do a mouth denoise for my VO, so you may not have heard the noise I just made. But the point is that drinking the water and then trying to sing or talk often will create unnecessary noises that we don't need in the live recording, in the mix. And so this is a great tool to be able to deal with that. Now this one, 30 clicks repaired. I mix a lot of gospel, and you got to be careful because I mix a lot of gospel in South Africa, out of South Africa, in different African native tongues. The click is very important to the intelligibility of the lyric. And so I still do it, but then I've got to be aware, and I communicate with my clients like, hey, if you hear anything that is unnatural, let me know, and then I'll go in and fix those words or phrases. And it's a simple thing, but the gain, what you gain is so much more rewarding and beneficial than the couple of words or whatever to have to go back and fix that. We do it on almost everything. So first step is iZotope RX Mouth Declick. Now that that's been done, before tuning the vocal, I use Waves Clarity VX Pro. They have VX Standard, and then now they also have, let's come over here, we'll type Clarity. They have Clarity D-Reverb and D-Reverb Pro. The settings are the same no matter if you're using whichever one you're using. So we'll pull up, let's go ahead and pull up Clarity VX, and we'll show with that, but it'll be the same for the D-Reverb one as well. And so let's turn all of these off except for the base version. I think you can get this for like 20 or 30 bucks. So no excuse not to be able to do this for just about anyone. And this process is as simple as this. Let's go find us a section.
Let's celebrate the victory of Jesus Christ today.
Okay, you can hear that cymbal bleed, especially in the gaps here. We're probably going to delete the gaps, but when you don't want to, you can still use this and get the benefit of reducing the cymbal bleed. And so I use the Broad 2 preset, and you got to be careful. If you get any higher than about 30%, you're going to start to introduce artifacts. You'll definitely hear the benefit of more reverb, room resonance removal. It'll isolate the vocal better when the further you go. Let's show that. Just boost the junk out of it here.
Let's celebrate the victory of Jesus Christ today. Let's celebrate the victory.
And if we come out here, let's highlight the cymbals crashing out. Here's bypassed. Okay. Clearly an improvement. You're getting that same improvement here when she's singing. However, if you leave it at such a high percentage, I'm saying anything above 30%, you're getting into risky territory. And this is a process that I personally like my assistant to commit on the lead vocal so that we then can tune more effectively. So we get the isolation, but then the tuning is Melodyne responds better. Auto-tune, meta-tune, doesn't matter which tuning app, it's going to respond better when it has a more isolated vocal. And so really got to be careful, and anywhere between 20 or 30% on any given project, but I really try not to go above that. So here is, but remember we have a duplicate, and that's what we'll go back to if you hear anything disappear. Let's check it on the actual phrase itself at a high percentage.
Let's celebrate the victory of Jesus Christ today.
All of that was pretty clear. So we got lucky with the speaking stuff. Let's come out to a sung line.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Prime example. It was like, I ain't having that, and it disappeared on us.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Right? And so let's bring it back to like 30%.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Okay. It does dip a little bit at the end, but I can handle that. For me, compression, automation, I can ride that back up. It wasn't so noticeable that it was harmful to the vocal, but I would even say let's back this off a little bit more.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I have any automation. Let's go check the clip gain. Nope. So that was a great example of it.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
Cool. Let's boost it until we get artifacts here.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, drops pretty substantially.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
And you can just kind of hear it dipping. It's just little peaks and valleys thing happening. And so you really want to be careful with that. And the cool thing is 25, 30% is effective. So let's come out here. Okay, so we hear it, but now bypassed. Right on. So we're gaining from it. It's just not quite as dramatic as maybe if we pushed it harder. But I do, again, like to use that Broad 2, and here's the same thing. So 27%. Maybe a little more reduction with the Pro version. I'm not sure if I maybe have a setting different than the other one, but that one's working really good. Here, let's check out together. I was messing with this the other day on my voiceover. We're traveling, and so when I do my voiceover, always looking for, to deliver a clean, intelligible voice for you guys, for the courses, for YouTube videos, things like that. And I saw that they came out with D-Reverb Pro. I was like, well, what's the difference between the two? I don't know yet. I haven't looked into the specifics, but I know that it sounded good. And so I was just playing with Dialogue 1, Dialogue 2, crank it. And I actually increased the strength multiplier. I think I did to like 2.5 or 3. So we're just listening to dead noise there, but yeah, so drastic difference on the actual files. Let's hear it on the track. You know what? Let's go back to this other line that we know is dipping at the end.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Ooh, this one's doing better than the VX did. Let's see how VX Pro handles it. Around 30%. Let's go higher.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
No way. This ain't happening.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end there, the VX, Clarity VX Pro is not doing great. Let's hear the reverb.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Woo! Okay. So that one, we learned something here together. That one's handling the ends of this way better at a much higher percentage. Using Dialogue 2 with a strength multiplier of 2.6, 2.7, somewhere like that. Just playing with it. Let's maybe have a listen, have a go with a couple of these.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
Okay, without it.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's backing off the mic a little bit there. But I'm kind of digging this. 82%. Let's go back. Let's compare the two. Let me turn this one on. What are we at? So let's be fair. Let's go to 82% of this. Turn it off. Here's D-Reverb Pro.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
I do get
Oh, we're coming alive.
on the consonants, oh, we're coming alive. I'm hearing a little bit of like an alien type warbling in her consonants. So let's hear that again.
Oh, we're coming alive.
High frequency-ish kind of thing happening.
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
I did not get the same effect on the consonants with VX Pro as I did with D-Reverb. See if you can notice that.
Oh, we're coming alive.
Versus,
Oh, we're coming alive, Lord. Yeah.
yeah, so there's definitely something going on in the high frequencies, but I don't know. This is kind of a trade-off there. So we're getting a more smooth vocal response from Clarity VX Pro, but I'm getting better, and that could be the strength multiplier here that's at play. Let's hear that.
Oh, we're coming alive.
That's exactly what's happening.
Oh, we're coming alive.
Not happening there versus,
Oh, we're coming alive.
yeah, so they're both working. It's just a matter of which one's better, and I can't answer that right in this moment because it sounds like there's positives and negatives with each. So
Come on, church, just let your faith rise today. Sing it.
that's obviously terrible. So that one's not going to fly for that.
Come on, church, just let your faith rise today. Sing it out.
Still getting lisping, and it's affecting it, but it was maybe not quite as much with, that was this one. That was D-Reverb Pro.
What is buried, you can raise again.
So I'm thinking, let's pull this one back kind of where we normally use it. 35% or so is a little heavy, but
What is buried, you can raise again.
and again, I'm getting peaks and valleys. It's disappearing on me. So we're just going to go back to the old trusty settings, come in here, and in this case, we're going, what are we doing, like 28% or so.
What is buried,
Here's on.
what is buried, you can raise again.
And I'm going to be happy with that. So those are the settings I like to use. I do like to commit that before moving on to the tuning. And we have one more process. So I'm not going to do that now because I've already done it up here. But the next step is, even though we've done the Clarity VX processing and then we commit that, we still have these gaps in between where it's going to be low. The Clarity VX is going to take care of most of that, but I don't want any of that popping through. And I think about Psalm 33:3 often, and I twist it a little bit. I say, play skillfully unto the Lord, right? Psalm 33:3, I think it actually says, sing to him a new song, play skillfully on the strings. I think it even says with loud noises or with loud shouts or something like that. But I just see the line, play skillfully, and I think to myself, let's play skillfully unto the Lord. And so let's do our best, give our best. And in our best editing, it takes 2 seconds to go through and come in and clean this stuff up. Now, you could use a tool in Pro Tools. We have, what is it, Command U, I think it is. Yep, strip silence. You can pull that up. I find that it's just better when I go manually and do it because there may be stuff in here where they like they talk or they say something, and I may have to clip gain that up, and it may be something that's beneficial to the track. So strip silence is a great option, but for me, I personally like to go and I'll just manually come in here in solo.
Today, sing it out.
Hey. See, sing it out. He's got the voice kind of falling at the end there.
Sing it out. Hey.
So I would come in here and take all that out. And we'll go through a fade, and let's hear that.
Come on, church, just let your faith rise today. Sing it out.
Yeah. So that would be cool. And that's with both of them. And now that's a heck of a lot better than what it was before, which was with no processing. And
come on, church, just let your faith rise today. Sing it out. Hey. What is bad?
Yeah, so anything we can do to kind of clean that up and isolate it, and that's the process. So I'll go through, clean the gaps for all of the song, and make sure that that's nice and tight. I will also do that for background vocals. So sometimes you can link the background vocals together because they stay, let's come up here. I had them very low in the mix, if not out. For this particular mix, where was, oh no, there, I put them below her. Usually I put the lead vocal at the bottom so I know where they're at, but here's the background vocals. See, they're not in any of this stuff. They don't really start singing until out here. Yeah, I don't know, I've just got them as reverb and ambience. It was very uninspiring performance for this particular song. So there you go, though. I would come out here and just delete all the gaps in between everything that the backgrounds were doing. And really, I would just go through and keep the different parts where they were actually, contributing something to the song. So cleaning up the vocals. Let's see, was there anything else in my notes? Clean up the gaps. I tell you what, let's go ahead and in the next video, I'm going to share my auto-tune settings. I'm using Slate's Metatune. I'm going to share a couple of options, some cool tricks that you can use that with. We'll look at that in the next video. And then we'll also look at Melodyne. And then I'll even show you a third option, which is Melodyning into auto-tune, so that you can just fix the things that auto-tune gets weird on, and it will save you a lot of time. So you kind of get the best of both worlds between just auto-tuning or taking all the time to Melodyne the vocal. So there we go. We'll see you in the next video.